Hello everyone. In January 2021, ClinGen released a few new features to its website, clinicalgenome.org. The highlights are listed here. In this video, we'll review each of these new features, including how you can access and use them. This new update to the website makes it easier for users to browse curation results by activity. If you come to clinicalgenome.org wanting to search for information on a specific gene or disease, you can still do that via our main search bar. However, some users are interested in a specific curation activity, gene disease validity, dosage sensitivity, clinical actionability, variant pathogenicity, etc., and want to look through all the information we have related to that activity. Previously, you could do this by clicking on the old Browse Curations button and selecting your activity of interest. Now, browsing menus are available across the bottom of the main search bar for easier access. For example, if I wanted to look through all the genes that have been curated for gene disease validity, I would click here. If you're interested in looking at a list of all genes ClinGen has evaluated, regardless of activity, click here. Clicking on any of the report icons in this listing will bring you back to that gene's homepage for further information. Another new feature is the concept of tallies. Going back to the All Curated Genes page, I'll direct your attention to the tallies at the top left. These are telling you the total number of unique genes in this list, and then the number of unique genes that have been evaluated by each curation activity. The tallies displayed in the top right will change to provide you relevant information based on the type of page you're visiting. For example, clicking on the Dosage Sensitivity tab will provide a tally of the total number of dosage curations and the number within that total corresponding to single genes and genomic regions. Navigating to a single gene page, such as ABCD1, will show you a tally of the number of each type of curations available for that gene, as some genes have been evaluated more than once due to relationships with multiple diseases. Within our curation activity browsing pages, you'll notice that information is organized in a table format. The latest website update gives you a few options to customize the display of these tables and run simple queries within the columns. Let's go back to our gene disease validity browsing page, where you'll see the column customization options on the top right near the tallies. The first button on the far right allows you to expand the display to the full width of your screen. Clicking this button again brings it back to its original size. The second button allows you to add or remove columns from the table display. Clicking on this button will show you a drop-down with all of the column types available for your particular page. Here you can see that for gene disease validity, there are two extra columns that aren't shown by default, the HGNC ID and the Mondo ID. I'll opt to turn on the HGNC ID and remove the SOP column. You can sort each column in basic alphabetical or highest lowest order by clicking on the arrows next to each column header, but you can now use the third button, which looks like a magnifying glass, to do some simple queries within the columns. When you click on this button, you'll notice new boxes underneath each of the column headers. If the box is blank, like the box underneath gene, this indicates that you can search free text within that column. Your return results will bring back anything within that column, including that particular string of words or letters. So if I search for ZN within the gene field, I get back 3 genes evaluated for gene curation with the letter ZN included within the gene symbol. If I search for intellectual within the disease field, I get back 41 gene curations in which the disease has the word intellectual somewhere within the name. The boxes with the arrows indicate that the column only allows searching within certain values. For example, if you click on the drop-down underneath Mode of Inheritance, or MOI, you can see a list of available modes of inheritance that you can select from. You can utilize more than one of these column queries at a time to narrow down on a gene or set of genes meeting certain criteria. For example, if I was interested in how many gene disease pairs with X-linked inheritance were classified as moderate in the year 2018, I could use this feature to narrow down to the 4 results shown here. The button at the far right of this set, the one that looks like an arrow pointing up and to the right, is the export button. You can use this to export the results of either an entire page or a specific search. For example, I can download the results of my previous query, the one with 4 results, to a CSV file. Other supported export types include XML, text, JSON, SQL, and Excel. Another way users may want to explore gene disease validity data in particular is by the Gene Curation Expert Panel, or GCEP, that curated it. Of all of these curations, which were done by, say, the Intellectual Disability and Autism GCEP? This type of search may be useful if you want to see all the curations in a particular disease area. Searching on any one specific disease name may not bring back everything. For example, if I was interested in genes curated for intellectual disability and I type that into the disease column on the gene disease validity page, I'd get a list of 39 genes, all curated for some kind of disease with the phrase intellectual disability in the name. However, I can also search by GCEP. As we know, there is a GCEP focused on intellectual disability and autism, and when I click on their entry, I can see that that group has actually evaluated 120 genes, some of which may also be relevant to my interests, even if they don't specifically have intellectual disability in the disease name. This type of search may also be useful to those designing genetic testing panels. As I mentioned before, some genes have multiple curations. Any one gene can be evaluated by more than one curation activity and can also be evaluated for more than one disease. To make this clear visually, we have grouped multiple curations for a single gene by activity. For example, if we search for the gene STK11, we can easily see that it's been evaluated by gene disease validity, dosage sensitivity, and clinical actionability. It's also been evaluated for more than one disease within gene disease validity. If you prefer to see the curations grouped by disease, simply click on the button at the top right of the table to toggle back to a disease-centric display. Another new addition is this area at the top of each page called Gene Facts. Clicking on this button to expand the display area and contain gene-specific information from various external sources. This includes information from HGNC, including the current gene symbol, as well as previous and alias symbols, the gene name, and the gene type. It will also include the gene's decipher haploinsufficiency index, as well as the PLI and Love scores from gnomAD. Genomic coordinates for the gene will be provided in GRCH 37 and 38, and the main select transcript, as well as any main plus clinical transcripts, if available, will also be documented. The latest update to the website features some significant upgrades to the way dosage sensitivity curation information is displayed. For the past several years, the ClinGen dosage sensitivity data has been made publicly available via a separate site, dosage.clinicalgenome.org. Single gene dosage curations were cataloged on clinicalgenome.org and were viewable if queried, but clicking on any report would take the user out to the separate site. Additionally, dosage sensitivity curations for genomic regions were not supported on clinicalgenome.org. Now, users will be able to access both single gene and genomic region dosage curations within clinicalgenome.org without going to a separate site. Clicking on the dosage sensitivity button in the Browse navigation bar will display a list of genes and genomic regions with dosage curations. Region curations are listed first and are designated with an R icon on the left side of the list. Single gene dosage curations are designated with a G icon. Users can remove either regions or genes from the display using the button at the top center. Within this table of ClinGen dosage sensitivity curation, we've added columns applicable to the single gene curations only to describe whether or not the gene has an entry in OMIM, its OMIM morbid, its decipher HI index score, and gnomAD PLI and Love scores. Clicking on the green box with the date last evaluated will open the full dosage curation report. Regular users of clinical genome dosage sensitivity data will notice that these reports are very similar to the ones currently displayed on dosage.clinicalgenome.org. All the data is the same, but there are minor differences in the style of the display. ClinGen dosage sensitivity data will remain available on both sites for the foreseeable future, though we encourage users to start utilizing clinicalgenome.org in order to take advantage of the other curation information, for example, gene disease validity or clinical actionability, that might be available in order to get a comprehensive view of their genes of interest. Users now also have the ability to search the clinicalgenome.org website by genomic coordinates using either GRCH37 or GRCH38. There are two ways of doing this, resulting in two different types of results. The first way of searching by genomic coordinates is within the dosage sensitivity page in the Browse navigation bar. Notice the genomic coordinate search bar at the top center. Select your build of interest, then input your coordinates. Searching by genomic coordinates from this page will return only applicable dosage sensitivity curations, including both single genes and regions. Genes within your search region that have not been curated by dosage sensitivity will also be returned and marked as awaiting review or not reviewable in the case of pseudogenes, but you'll not know if they have been evaluated by any other ClinGen activity. The second way of searching by genomic coordinates is within the main search bar at the top. To do this, select region and your preferred genome build from the pull-down menu at the right of the search bar. Searching using the top-level search bar will return only single genes within the searched region. It will also indicate which curation activities evaluated these genes, not just limited to dosage sensitivity. The January 2021 website release also includes updates to the display of clinical actionability curation information. The ClinGen Actionability Working Group evaluates the clinical actionability of gene disease pairs separately for pediatric and adult indications. When viewing actionability curation information, users are now able to differentiate between the two reports when they're available for the same gene. Finally, as the result of our collaboration between CPIC and PharmGKB, we're pleased to now be able to display pharmacogenomic curation information for genes that have been evaluated by one or both of these groups. To learn more about this collaboration, please visit the link located in the About Us drop-down menu. We hope you find these features helpful. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please feel free to contact us at ClinGen@clinicalgenome.org. Thank you.